On our last meeting with the champions, Alpa mentioned what the word smart means, and how proud people are to say that we are smart. But in reality, what does that word mean?
Harm in quite a few different languages means harm in Hebrew, means harm in Greek, and it means harm in Latin.
Three languages, three strikes and you're out.
Can
And
I
we
just
are,
say I haven't checked all of them, but the three that I checked, yes.
yeah.
Mm.
And so there's probably a lot
Mm.
more. What is devastating for me, mentally, morally, is the fact of what smart meters mean. Because I know what a meter is, and I know how the electricity and the gas company work.
Mm.
Is that the gas and the electricity is not what they're charging you for. What they charge you for is the thing that goes round, or the digital clock that counts
Mm.
the gas moving back and forward, or the electricity moving back and forward.
Mm.
The meter itself is the only thing that they charge you for, what they call metering.
Yeah.
But when you call it a smart meter, now you're saying that's metering the harm that they are doing to you. And that's the fact of three strikes and you're out in linguistics terms, that they are directly telling you, we're going to kick your door down, we're going to force our way in, and we're going to charge you for directly harming you through our smart meters, and we're going to monitor the harming of that, called metering. Because you don't pay for the gas, you don't pay for the electricity, you pay for the metering
And the harm.
and the harm. They charge you for harming you.
Yep.
That carries a death sentence.
They don't.
What can they do? Because you've known people that's happened.
I
This
was just
happened to.
about to say they don't just charge you; they force you. If you are weak and you have no authority about yourself, or you've got your son indoors and they know you've left your house, they will find that weak moment where you're defenseless. That's when they come to your house, barge their way through your door, pushing your child out the way if it's your child that's in, and they put that meter in without your consent. They don't care about your consent. All they care is about the harm they're metering from your property. It is absolutely disgusting, Mark.
Let me explain something here to the audience. This is what you call Nazis, and you and your grandfathers fought against Nazis. The Nazis are in your country right now. Find them, because they have a death sentence on them. I have given you, through Janine, as well as the Global Constitution and the judicial notice, which you can access through my website and looking for my name, what to do with these people. Because when the Nazi turns up at your door and they say to you, because this is what they're saying, and I'm paraphrasing, they're saying that we're going to rape your daughter. And for the pleasure of kicking your door down and raping your daughter in front of the mother and the father, you will pay us 500 marks, which is German currency at that time. And if you don't pay it, we're going to put you in prison, because you are not paying us for the pleasure of raping your 8-year-old daughter in front of you and consenting to it. This carries a death sentence. So I ask every American, and I'm authorizing it. This is conduct that cannot be tolerated. Your armament that you have is a pistol. Do not allow them to call it a gun, because gun means weapon. Do not allow them to call it a weapon, because weapon is created specifically to hurt you, like smart meters. That carries a death sentence on you. They'll try to revenge you, your pistol, your sidearm, into a gun. Don't let them. You have to, and I'm authorizing it as the plenipotentiary judge and as the chief federal postal court judge. as well as the master's duties that I have across the world. I'm authorizing you to unholster your armament, your sidearm, and you have to put that pistol to use, because anybody that is within transmission of this knows that the smart meters are monitoring and metering the harm that it's doing to you. That means you have the ability to put the Nazi to rest, which is your duty. Have I made myself very clear with everybody?
Yes, Mark, I think you have. And I think it's going to be quite shocking to see the factual evidence that goes with smart and harm.
They got to pick up the phone and say, I know what a smart meter is, and I'm not telling you to come and get it out and compensate me with 10,000, 50,000 pounds. And if it's not in my account, I am going to come for you for putting and monitoring something that is going to harm me. Yeah. And I'm a student of the Chief Federal Postal Court Judge, full colon Mark, hyphen, Kishon, full colon Christopher, full stop. And he has made it very clear. You do this now. If you don't, we're going to come and get you at your home. We're going to pull you out of your home. Nothing is going to be sacred. You think it's going to be sacred. You think you can hide. But fucking hell am I going to fuck you people up. And that's my French. And I've already fucked up that French contract that thinks it can sit in Trafalgar Square. That vulgarity, that puny system that they have put in place. This is going to backfire on you on a level that is unprecedented. This new matrix is going to wipe you clean off this planet. Thank you very much. Unless you have something to say.
I just wanted to say that the people that owns the companies like OVO Energy and all those big multi-billionaire millionaires that are sitting comfortable in their £350 million houses, lovely and warm, while all these old ladies die because they can't afford to feed their harmful meters with pounds. There's been over 10,000 deaths of elderly in the last 2 years. Every year, it's gone up 10,000 in the last 2 years because of these prices rising for the privilege of investing to harm ourselves. It's got to stop, Mark, and I can't wait to see that.
I've already authorized it. It instantly carries a death sentence.
Well, I have been emailing them all the Constitution and the judicial notice.
Can we send out an email? Directly to these energy companies, asking them question. Answer this question: does smart mean harm? Make sure you answer us in 3 days. If you do not answer us, it means that you are metering the harm that you are doing to me, my address. Therefore, I am now contacting the Federal Postal Court to sanction your termination of your life. Because they have to answer the questions. And you have the right to go and look for them at their homes, in their business address. And you have to be in a position where you have to pass sentence. Because when the Nazis are at your door, you've got no choice but to unholster your pistol and put that to work.
It's an armament. Yeah.
Never allow him to call it a gun, because a gun is another word for a weapon, and a weapon is another word for a gun. And they are all created for the sole purposes of harming.
And revenue.
And revenue. Now that we have 100% evidence of what these words mean, they have said, we have weaponized the gas meter, the smart meter. We have weaponized everything that is known as smart, because that's what it means. It means to harm. They have self-confessed. The penalty has already been passed. The confession has already been taken.
That's what it is. It's a confession. We are harming you.
Correct.
If you don't want to look into it, let us harm you.
Correct. So every American, every Canadian, every Englishman every self-respecting Frenchman and woman, go and do your duties and hang them by the neck until they are dead, because they have confessed their crimes. They have confessed it. Thank you very much. Before I get too much,
I can feel you, Mark. I can feel you. It's fine. But thank you for your friendship.
And remember that paraphrasing. They're saying we have the right to kick your door down, rape your 80-year-old daughter in front of you, and if you object, we will put you in prison. And not only that, you have to pay us for the pleasure of raping your 80-year-old daughter, is what they've said. It carries a death sentence instantly. Anything else is a compromise, and I do not compromise. So you Americans, do your duty. You Canadians, do your duty. And you French people, do your duty all over the world. Hang these bastards. Full stop.
Yes, please, Mark. Thank you.